Well, well, well. Look at what the cat dragged in. Hi. So let me give you a little backstory right now. It is 10:12 and I am studying right now. I have to take this very important national licensing exam in 2 weeks. I have been studying for this for 6 months. I have taken this exam in the past and failed, so there's a lot on the line right now. And I was planning on studying today at 8 o'clock. Like I said, it's now 10 o'clock. I haven't been studying. I know. So, my ginormous brain came up with the foolproof idea that I record myself studying as an act of accountability and posting it on YouTube on a new YouTube channel. So that's what this is. Prepare yourselves for some really exciting content. Is that a bunny? Yes. Is that my very first ever Webkinz? Also yes. Am I 25? Should I really have my first Webkinz bunny on my bed? So we're gonna get into studying. I got flashcards here. I also have a online program that I will be referring to, but this is me studying, guys, okay? I was gonna do this an hour ago, but I got sidetracked with the audio situation, because if you didn't notice, I got a little mic. I'm really excited about this mic. That's kind of half the reason why I wanted to do this, so that I could test this mic out. But it is a bitch to put together. At least it was for me. Because I have this stupid little contraption. It took me forever to figure out how to connect this with the computer and for the computer to recognize it. It was a whole thing. Took an hour, apparently. So, we need to study. Let's just get right into it. I'm currently studying drugs, and radiology. Two of those are the two, how do I word it? These are the two biggest sections that I struggle with for the VTNE. That's the exam I'm taking. So, we're gonna do this, and you're gonna watch. Okay, so basically it's the drug, and then I answer everything that's written on the back. So I gotta sneeze. Phenylbutazone. Phenylbutazone? I thought it was phenylbutane. Why did I get butazone? What? Phenyl... It's butazone. Wow, I thought it was phenylbutane this whole time. So bute, it's also known as bute, and it is mostly used in large animals, specifically horses. This is something, I believe it's the one that you want to give IV. Yes. So it's a drug, it's an NSAID that you have to give IV. If you give it outside the vein, it's going to cause some tissue sloughing. We don't want that. You got to give it IV, and it's for analgesia and fevers. For fevers. Boom, got that one done. Also, you can't judge me if I don't know these. Okay? This is what we're studying. Butorphanol. Butorphanol. Opiate partial agonist. It's a antitussive, analgesic, or sedative. Antitussive means anti-coughing, basically. On here it says it's a opioid. Yeah, it's opiate partial agonist. It's an injectable tablets. That's all it says. Okay. So butorphanol is a opioid partial agonist, and it is mainly an antitussive. So then I also have questions that like our drug classes. So what are alpha-2 agonists? Dude, I can't tell you. Apparently it's dexmedetomidine. Cool. I've been looking for that dexmedetomidine card, and I can't find it. Oh, it's right here. Dexmedetomidine. So it's reversal, because it can be reversed. The reversal is atipamezole, and it is a alpha-2 agonist, as we just learned, and it can cause severe bradycardia. So you don't want to give it to older, elderly patients that have cardiac issues, okay? Yeah, got it. Boom. Sucralfate. This is something with GI. It's like a gastric band-aid, if that's what I remember. Yeah. It's a gastric band-aid. And it helps heal and... Words, man. It helps heal and protect irritated mucosa. Boom. Beta-2 adrenergic. I don't know. Often used for asthma. Beta-2... Oh, yeah, because it's a bronchodilator. Yeah. Apparently, albuterol and terbutaline are 2 drugs. But beta-2 adrenergic is for bronchodilation. I remember this because beta is with a B. Beta, and it does bronchodilation. Bronchodilation. You see the B thing going on there? That's how I remember that. Atropine. Atropine is a anticholinergic. Here, I'll show it for you. Oh wait, I don't want to look at the thing. It is a anticholinergic. You can't even read this. And this causes the heart rate to increase and salivation to decrease. And I think that's all you really need to know. Oh yeah. It also, rabbits are resistant to this. 40, it's like something about with the percentage of 40% that rabbits neutralize. I don't know what that means. I think maybe 40% of rabbits neutralize it. How? Couldn't tell you. Do I need to know that? I don't think so. Hopefully not. Oh boy. Otubius megnini. Otubius megnini. That does not sound like a real word. This is the spinous ear tick. So this is not pharmacology. I don't know how this got in here. Okay, spinous ear tick is the Otubius megnini. It's an equine. It spreads rickettsial, Q fever, and tularemia. I'm going to put this in the large animal parasitology stuff. This is also not a drug. This is a disease. Okay, these are not. Here we go. Alpha-2 agonist. That is... Hang on. Alpha-2 agonist. Alpha-2 agonist. I want to say butorphanol? Fuck. Dexmedetomidine. Dexmedetomidine is a alpha-2 agonist. Dexmedetomidine is a alpha-2 agonist. Okay, got that locked in. Alpha-2 agonist. Dexmedetomidine, that is, we went through that earlier. That is something that has a reversal, which is atipamezole. And I realized I don't have my ring on. Anyways, what else about it? Major side effect is bradycardia, right? So you don't want to use it for patients that have cardiac issues. Should we just refresh what cards we already did? Yes. So atropine is an anticholinergic. It causes increased heart rate and decreased salivation. And you don't want to give it to rabbits because they can neutralize it somehow. Yep. Done. Phenylbutane, also known as bute. This is a NSAID that is given to horses. You do not want to give it IV. Yeah, you don't want to give it IV because it causes tissue softening. Alpha-2 agonist, dexmedetomidine. We know that now. Alpha-2 agonist, dexmedetomidine. And dexmedetomidine is an alpha-2 agonist, and it has a reversal, which is atipamezole, and you don't want to give it to animals who have cardiac issues and are old. Beta-2 adrenergic. Beta, bronchodilator. Use it for asthma. Albuterol terbutaline. Okay. Sucralfate, also known as the gastric band-aid, helps heal irritated mucosa. Yeah. Dexmedetomidine, alpha-2 agonist. This has a reversal atipamezole and also causes severe bradycardia. Dexmedetomidine, bradycardia. Don't give it to patients with cardiac issues. Butorphanol. Butorphanol, opiate partial agonist. Yep. And antitussive. Antitussive. Butorphanol, antitussive. How can I remember that? I don't think I have any funny way of remembering that. Butorphanol, opiate partial agonist, antitussive. What is the cytology of an autoimmune disorder? I think it's spherocytes and clumping. Crow wants to come in. Hang on. Let me let my boy in. Jeez. Okay. Well. What? I don't know what he's doing. Ow. I scratched myself. Hi, you want to come up? Come here, look. What do you want? Come here. He's thinking about it. You are going to mess up my cards. Oh, hi. How are you? How are you, my lovely boy? Okay, bye. Okay. We kind of messed up. No, wait, we didn't. Cytology of autoimmune disorders. So spherocytes, and I think some sort of clumping. I want to say white blood cell. Agglutination and spherocytes. So agglutination is like clumping. It doesn't say what specifically, so I'm just going to keep it at that. Spherocytes, agglutination for autoimmune disorders like IMHA. Now this card, I haven't completely filled out, but it is a list of drugs in like each controlled drug class. So 5 through 1. I know fentanyl is 3, Valium is 4. Oh, fentanyl's 2, Valium's 4. Wait, what? I have fentanyl in 2 and 3. Also, Valium is known as diazepam. I should probably know that because I don't remember that. Obviously, Schedule 1 has the highest potential of use. Fluoroquinolones. What drugs are in this class? I don't know. Floxacin. So these are mostly antibiotics, like enrofloxacin, aka Baytril. So fluoroquinolones have floxacin at the end of the word, like enrofloxacin, which is Baytril, which is an antibiotic. What drugs do you need for seizures? Or could you use for a seizure? You can use propofol. You can use phenobarbital. You could use diazepam. And like something with like sodium nitrate, potassium bromide. Propofol, potassium bromide, diazepam, phenobarbital. Okay. Tetanus. That is not a drug, but it causes muscle rigidity. This is sawhorse stance and lockjaw. It's light sensitive, and there's a vaccine for horses. Cool. Gentamicin. This is a muscle relaxant, I think. It doesn't say it on here. Aminoglycoside. It's an antibiotic. I'm thinking of guafenistin. I forgot how you say it. Gentamicin is an aminoglycoside. Okay. And it's an antibiotic. And it can be renal toxic. I want to take a break from some of the drugs. Let's do some radiology. What do you think? I'm thinking like we should do some radiology. Also, I have this ice pack here. It's really wet right now. But I've been using it because it gets so hot. And I have a thing where my hands get hot. So I just have this ice pack on my bed. So when my hands get hot, I can just hold it for a little bit. And that cools off my hands. And it's nice. Anywho, let's study a little bit more. And then I'm going to end it, but I'm going to continue to study. Just because this is going to be a really long video if I continue to do this. I just needed like the momentum, you know? It also helps to talk out loud. Okay, oh god, man. This is going to be kind of embarrassing. I don't know my radiology very well. Okay, higher frequency probes. It causes increased image resolution and decreased penetrating ability. Have increased image resolution and decreased penetrating ability compared to lower frequency probes. I totally nailed that. Frick yeah. Okay, so how do you improve the rad image quality? Image quality. Turn up KVP? No. Highest MA and lowest time to achieve desired MAs. High MA, low time for improving the rad image quality. How do you increase density? Now this is increasing KVP. Nope. Increase the energy of X-rays and increasing the number of photons and decreasing the distance from the source to the film. So you increase energy of X-rays and increase the number of photons and decrease the distance. Settings that affect exposure without changing contrast. So not changing contrast, you don't want to mess with KVP. But settings that affect exposure, MA and exposure time. Okay, I didn't know that. Settings that affect exposure without changing contrast is MAs and exposure time. MA, not MAs. MAs has this time in the seconds of it. Okay, what are the benefits of using a larger filament? I once knew this. Higher exposures can be used. Has a broader beam and focal spot, but it can decrease image definition and increase the penumbra effect, whatever the penumbra effect is. Okay, so higher exposures can be used, but it does decrease the image quality. And it causes the penumbra effect. How do you increase contrast? Now this is where KVP comes in. You want to increase KVP. Yeah, increase KVP. How do you decrease scatter radiation? You not collimate. How do you decrease scatter radiation? You decrease the field size. Okay. Alright. What causes a film to be clear? So this is when you actually put it into the developer before putting it in the fixer. So you actually don't put it in the fixer at all. You put it in the fixer without the developer? Yeah, because the developer is first, the fixer is second. Because I think of it like A, B, C, D, E, F, developer D, F, fixer. So developer comes before F, the fixer. So it's clear. Doesn't go through the developer, only goes through the fixer. No. Bisecting angle technique. So this is mainly used in dentistry, and it's hard to explain, but instead of using the center of the middle of the tooth, you go like a quarter. Used to prevent distortion when you can't have the film parallel to the body and perpendicular to X-ray beam. So this is a technique you use if you can't get the tooth parallel to the X-ray beam and parallel to the body and perpendicular to the X-ray beam. But this prevents distortion. Shall we review here? Let's shuffle these cards. How do you decrease scatter radiation? You decrease the field size. Yeah, decrease field size. Boom. Methods to increase density. Higher MA and lower time. Fuck. You increase the energy of X-rays, increase the number of photons, and decrease the distance from the source to film. So I'm going to put this back in here. How do you prove rad image quality? Is this the one where you increase MA, decrease time? Yeah, highest MA, lowest time to achieve desired MAs. What is the bisecting angle technique? We were just talking about this. This is a technique you'll use when you want to use it to prevent distortion when the tooth is not parallel to the body and perpendicular to the X-ray beam. Yep. What causes a film to be clear? You put it in the fixer and not the developer. You skip the developer. Yep. Higher frequency probes, they have increased image quality but decreased penetrating ability. Yep. How do you increase contrast? KVP. Yeah. Benefits of using a larger filament. Well, the focal distance is larger. However, it does cause decreased image quality. Higher exposures can be used. Settings that affect exposure without changing contrast. This is without changing contrast. So like something to do with MA. I don't know. MA and exposure time. Okay. Methods to increase density. Increase the number of photons. Increase the energy of the X-ray and decrease the distance from the source to the film. Boom. Benefits of using a larger filament. Bro, the benefits to a larger filament, well, it's a broader focal beam, and you can use higher exposures. However, it does cause a decrease in image quality. Yep, and it can cause the penumbra effect. Penumbra. Settings that affect exposure without changing contrast. This is MA and exposure time. Yep. Boom. Okay, we're in 25 minutes right now. I think this is a pretty good sesh. I'm going to keep studying. I have to get up early tomorrow, and it's almost 11. But I got to keep studying, or else I'm going to fail. I may just fail anyways. It's fine. I'm not worried. I'm fine. Okay, I'm gonna end this and then just upload this immediately because YOLO, and no one's gonna watch this. This is just trash I'm throwing into the YouTube world. But what else is new? What was the statistic that every minute, like 400 minutes of video is getting uploaded? I could have totally pulled that out of my ass. But it's something like that. So, anyways. Thanks for watching. It's gonna be alright, Bob. It is alright, Bob. That's the channel name.